Hey guys, Louis again, back in Grenada. Today we're going to be refreshing the Dolphin seats. You're going to see they really need it. Yeah, so as you can see, they're very weathered. They're exposed to the sun and of course the salt water year-round since 2015. They do look original. Very easy to remove. You just got 4 holes on the bottom and it's all Phillips screws. So let's get started. So you make sure you put your hand underneath to catch the screw. So the 4th one fell into the tube, so we're going to try to fish it out somehow.
These picks must have into the tube.
So we got our 2 Dolphin seats here. What we're going to be using is the orbital. You can see they're really rough. The wood is really rough. I wouldn't want to be sitting on that at all. So I've got 2 papers here, 2 orbital sander, dry sand obviously. So one is 120 grit. Should have enough of 1 of each. So one is 120 and then we finish with 220.
Okay, you see the difference? Gotta do the edges.
So the bottom part we do last just because the paper is getting tired and it doesn't matter that much if it's super clean. Our epoxy resin right here and the hardener. What we have is fast cure, so we're gonna have to be working fast with that one. It's got a pot life of about 10 minutes. So we got a mixing pot right here. We're gonna be using the small one, not the big one. And we got a roller to do the finishing. And what I'm gonna do is just 1 coat of resin on the bottom part, and then the top part, what we're gonna do after the 1 coat, put 4 screws in it, just so that we have something to lean it on, to put it on when we're doing the top part. Top part, we're gonna be putting at least 2 coats on it. We'll see how it goes.
Okay. Yeah, same thing.
Okay, so 5 to 1. So 5 parts of 105. And all these cups, they have numbers and stuff that you can work with. So super easy to measure. And always have paper and alcohol handy. These have been cleaned with alcohol already. Put the screws in. So just put some on the edge of the roller to do sides. One more of the same. Okay, so let's add some more here. Putting it on very thick. This thing usually cures in about 6 hours, but we're gonna let it cure for a minimum of 12. Okay, so now we let it sit, we let it even out and let it dry for a day. So I just removed the roller and it was like really packed with epoxy. I don't know if you can see it on the video, but it's actually smoking. It's so hot. So I can't put this in the garbage. Gotta let it cure first. So we are back after a few days. This has dried properly. You can see that, okay, we got an issue with it. We got a lot of air bubbles on it. Maybe you can see it in the sun. So it's not smooth. It looks, in the shade, it looks like nice mirror finish, but it's actually not. So I've looked online, I've looked at some YouTube videos, and we're gonna sand it down first. We're gonna sand it to make it all nice and smooth again. just to take those bubbles out. I got a 240 on here, a new paper 240, and then we're gonna put a new coat of epoxy. I've got the fast hardener. We're gonna use the slow hardener on this one. We got some slow hardener right here, so we're gonna use that instead of the fast one. And what I'm gonna do is just put a nice thick coat, and then we're gonna use this heat gun. And from what I've seen, using the heat gun on fresh epoxy will basically get rid of all the bubbles. So I'm gonna try that and see how that goes. 140 grit. Let's see what we can do. So I'm not worried about the bottom part. I mean, it's all bubbly and stuff, but you know, nobody's gonna see that, so it's not worrisome at all. Just want to fix the top. It's a first anyways. Good thing is, if I do mistakes, you guys won't have to repeat it. So we're also gonna do the sides, because you probably won't see it in the video, but it just drank everything up. The first coat was just, it penetrated very deep, so it doesn't look like it's really sealed on the edges. So we're gonna put another coat on the edges. So let's see if we can do anything with the heat gun, because there's tons of bubble in there, tons of bubbles. She does not want to be on film. Oh, there you go. My invisible wife. I'm not seeing the result I wanted. Not really smooth. Okay, I'm back with the latest results. You can see tons of bubbles again. So yeah, I'm using a roller that has too much, that leaves too much lint on it. Most probably it's making bubbles and stuff. So I got this super cheap nylon brush, and so we're gonna sand it down again using a 120 paper. Sand both of them down and do a light coat this time with the cheap paintbrush, going very lightly on it. It looks much better at first glance. I'm also trying to make it thick, so not pressing down too much on the paintbrush. So this one is looking 100 times better than before. It's hard to say until it dries. So at first glance, it's perfect. Now we're just gonna let it dry for another day, and we'll be back tomorrow to see the result. All right, so this is the result of the third try. Not perfect, not 100%, but I would say about 90-95%. It's smooth enough. We can see dimples, but they're actually kind of pinholes and not like bumps. There's a few bumps like here on the sides, but it's not major. And the pinholes, I mean, I can live with that, no issues. I would say it's 100 times better than when we started. Now the tricky part, you want to put the screw in. Be super careful not to drop it, because if it falls inside the tube, it's going to be hard to get back once we have 1 or 2 screws in there. So like I was saying, you gotta be careful not to drop the screw, because now it's actually stuck. Well, it's inside the pipe, so I'm gonna get the pick and try to pull it out. Okay. So here's the finished product. Nice and smooth. Gotta be comfortable. Gonna put maybe some wax on it. Hopefully it will keep it nice and shiny for a long time. So this project was done in beginning of October 2023. You're going to see here 3 pictures, one just before the project, and then the result in 2023. But you'll also see the 3rd picture, which is right now in March of 2025. So you can see that the epoxy actually lasted pretty long. So this was my first time doing anything aesthetic with epoxy, and I was using leftover structural epoxy, and considering that it's not UV stable, it lasted pretty long. So again, from Grenada, feel free to drop a comment, like the video. We'll see you next time.